Hello friends, I am your Amarnath. In this video, we will demystify public administration as an optional subject for UPSC mains exam. Many of the aspirants who are willing to take public administration as an optional subject for UPSC mains has many doubts in their minds. So I'll try to clear the doubts which are very common, but at the same time they are also very important. The common doubts: whether public administration is really a scoring subject. After all, we all want marks, we want a good rank in UPSC. How this public administration will help us in scoring good marks? A common doubt, and which is most important element that revolves in the mind of an aspirant before taking public administration. How current affairs is useful for public administration? Normally, I've seen many of the questions being raised in different Telegram channels and WhatsApp doubts being asked whether public administration is interlinked with current affairs, or do current affairs is really required for getting good marks in public administration. The third doubt: how public administration will be helping us in scoring general studies, how public administration is interrelated with general studies, right? So every aspirant will look after for reducing their efforts, for reducing their time, right? And we always think about optimum utilization of our efforts and time. So whether this public administration as an optional subject will help us in this regard. Another thing, a common question again: material. People run from one institution to other institution, from one faculty to other faculty. They keep on asking their doubts about the links, right? So how a coaching material, a printed materials that is available in the market will help in scoring marks when compared to textbooks. So again, I want to caution: we don't want to become a researcher. We want to score marks. So here again the question comes: which institute material is good? Which faculty is good? Right. Another a common doubt is the art of answer writing. Many people have a belief that public administration is difficult to score marks because the art of writing answer in UPSC is difficult. So many of us have a feeling that we cannot write a good answer in optional like public administration. But here, when you ask me, public administration is a very good scoring subject provided we have enough skills of writing an answer. So how to make a good answer, how to get good marks. So this video is entirely based upon my experience in UPSC as an aspirant as well as a teacher. The point here is whether public administration is a scorable or not. I can definitely say one thing, that public administration is a very good scoring option. Leave every element aside and just accept the fact that public administration, same as other optional subjects, is even scoring subject, provided if we have a very good answer writing skill, right? So from this point, I'll try to explain each of these questions that we have raised first. So whether public administration is scoring or not. So how to score? I mentioned that public administration is a scoring subject. Definitely it is a scoring subject. So I'll try to analyze the trends. So on how we can say that public administration is a scoring subject. All right. From 2000, we all know that from 2011 to 2017. So these years they were definitely tough times for students of public administration. So even in my last attempt, so my last attempt was in 2010. So right from 2010 onwards till 2017, the scoring in public administration is somewhat less when compared to other optional. So no doubt in this point. The nature of questions. So from 2010 to 2017, the nature of questions that were asked in UPSC is somewhat difficult. It is difficult in the sense the difficulty in the nature of questions asked. The questions asked, even they are far from the traditional way of asking in UPSC. They are beyond regular sources that a normal UPSC candidate refers. So this is the difficulty, and which made the aspirants of public administration to change their mind and shift to other optionals. So this is a trend from up to 2017. But when you observe the question papers from 2017, so from 2017 to 2020, again when you see these questions, most of the questions are straightforward. I don't see it as 100% straightforward, but 70 to 75 percentage the questions are straightforward, where every student of every serious student who is preparing a UPS exam, they can answer them. That is the reason why you can see a good ranks from public administration when compared to other optionals. In other optionals, the level of difficulty of questions have been increased. I mean, and options like public administration, psychology, the difficulty levels have come down. This is a changing trend that we can see, right? So here it is only when we talk about change, don't think about a drastic change. It is a medium level of change, right? So the level of the difficulty levels in public administration is coming down. This makes to score very good marks in public administration. So this is what one point. So that one should remember. So nowadays you can score a very good marks in public administration. The average score can be around 270 to 300 marks. If you are thorough with answer presentation, if you are good in answer presentation, we can achieve a reasonable score of 270 to 300 marks in public administration. It is scoreable, no doubt in that. So don't think that public administration is not scoreable, right? The UPSC has changed the trends in public administration. The level of difficulty in public administration is coming down. Now, I can definitely say that it is one of the safe optionals in public in UPSC mains when compared to other subjects. So you can perfectly take public administration as an optional. This is first point I want to say. Coming to second question, how current affairs is useful for public administration? Coming to this point again, when we talk about using of current affairs, so every subject, every optional subject in UPSC, in some or the other way, it is connected with current affairs. Every question that is asked in UPSC mains exam, it has some kind of relevance. So here it is not no question is asked foolishly. Every question asked has a meaning. It has relevance, right? Because of the timeline, because of the issues raised, right? Because of the ongoing debates, everything is interconnected. So even in public administration, current affairs has an importance. Public administration itself is a current topic. Every act of government is an act of administration, right? Administration is a part of government machinery. So whatever government does, it is an act of government. It is an act of administration. So one need to keep this in mind. When you talk about welfare programs, when you talk about public policy, when you talk about the nature of decisions taken, when you talk about the policies, the developmental approaches used by government, everything is connected to public administration. You can expect, you can predict questions by seeing the way a state functioning, the way the government is functioning, the new trends that are impacting the functions of government, the new trends that are impacting the functions of state. So we can expect questions. So current affairs helps us, particularly in paper one. Particularly in paper one, it helps us to understand UPSC question paper. So we cannot deny the importance of current affairs in public administration, particularly in paper one. And coming to paper two, you can use this current affairs as an example. The work of legislature, the work of government, the work of cabinet secretary, the work of PMO, the prime minister and his council of ministers, the welfare administration, the local administration, the working of 73rd, 74th Government Acts, right, using of reports, recommendations. So these are directly relevant to public administration and you need to quote these in the answers. It is not that easy to get marks in paper 2 particularly without using your current affairs, without quoting the recommendations and the committees, right? So you can, these are the main, this is the basics of answer writing, right? You should use current affairs, the ongoing as a current affairs, the ongoing committees, the recommendations as an examples in paper 2. So the contribution of current affairs in public administration, particularly in paper 2, is around it's around 50 to 70 percentage. Unless you use your current affairs, you cannot bring soul to the answer. It will be just a dry answer. With answer without current affairs, right? I definitely say that it is of no use. It looks like a polity answer rather than a pubad answer. So you should be good in using the current affairs. So whatever current affairs you prepare, use them and in your answer writing, right? I will give another element when I deal the last question, that is art and science of answer writing. Coming to another question, how public administration is helpful for general studies? So normally we have public administration in every part of general studies, in every paper of general studies. Right from essay, there will be at least one essay which is based upon administrative governance aspect, developmental aspects. So you can expect 125 marks from essay. In GS paper 1, right, you have a topic called as social justice. Again, the relevance of public administration there is around 30 marks. And no doubt in paper 2, paper 2 is all about public administration, that is polity and governance. Alright, so out of 250 marks, the PubAd will help you in answering around 150 to 170 marks. Again in paper 3, you have economy, internal security, disaster management, which are a part and parcel of public administration. There you can expect around, you can answer around 50 to 70 marks in paper 3. In paper 4, ethics paper, where you have ethics in public services, ethics in public administration. So it again revolves around public administration, right? Where 50% of ethics syllabus is directly related to our public administration. That means out of 250 marks, 130 marks are around public administration. Leave aside this 500 marks. So already we had 500 for optional subject. In total, 125 plus 30, 155 plus 170, it is 325, 325 plus 70, 395, 395 plus 130, it is 725. And if I'm not wrong, so right, if I'm wrong, please do correct. Almost all, you can answer 1200 marks in UPSC mains exam. So this is what the importance of public administration in other general studies papers. So definitely you have every student who is taking public administration as an optional, they have an added advantage. So no doubt in this. Coming to the next question, whether coaching material or textbooks. I found one interesting thing that is normally seen in UPSC aspirants. They keep on revolving around coaching institutions. No doubt, coaching institutions helps us a lot in our preparation, but at the same time, we should not be blind in following the notes. So particularly for optional subjects. So if you ask me, my sincere advice is at least to follow the basic textbooks. Follow the basic textbooks of public administration. So what are these textbooks one need to follow? All right, I'll say one part. Whenever possible, first read. You have public administration. Any newcomer, I advise them to read Public Administration by Lakshmikant. For any newcomer, if you keep on reading textbooks, you will get the subject knowledge. You will try you will get that vocabulary that is required for optional subject, that will make your presentation more effective. All right, so start reading. So at least read this Lakshmikant. There's another book called Mohit Bhattacharya, New Horizons of Public Administration. So to be frank to say, for every newcomer, they find difficulty in reading Mohit Bhattacharya. Definitely, for every new student, it is very difficult to read Mohit Bhattacharya. But Mohit Bhattacharya, I'm saying, it is one of the most interesting book. Right? You can enjoy once you get into the subject, and it will help you a lot in getting very good marks in public administration, particularly in paper 1. Paper 1 is all about theory. It is all about the subject knowledge that you have. If you are very good in subject, you will get a very good marks. Right? The average score in paper 1 should not be less than 150. It is very easy to score 150 in paper 1. Paper 1 is more scoreable because it entirely revolves around the theory. So try to read Mohit Bhattacharya. Administrative Thinkers by Prasad and Prasad. For second paper, read Indian Public Administration by Rajni Goyal and Ramesh K. Arora. R. K. Arora and Rajni Goyal. And Indian Administration by S.R. Maheshwari. Alright, now the question comes. Sir, whether it is possible to read all these textbooks or not? When I start giving the list of textbooks, right, we see a sort of frightening. Whether it is possible. So we don't want to read all these textbooks. That is the reason why we keep on depending on institute materials, coaching institute materials. Here, no one will create anything on their own. No one will create. We are just a facilitator. Teacher is just a facilitator. Right? We facilitate the students in understanding the subject by using the relevant examples, by using current affairs, and so on. But even every faculty, every teacher, right, they take these as these basic sources. No one will create on their own. Teacher is just a facilitator, a communicator. Right? The way of communicating, the way of facilitating, the way of understanding the subject varies. So every institute material should be taken from these textbooks, no doubt in that. I have seen personally when I was preparing. Right? So my best advice, at least read these books. It is only then you will get marks. Reading material is good. So material should be the last resort. Material should be for revisions. When you are in the last part of revision, you should do using this materials. But at least you should have a good command on the subject, and this command will get the command only when you read the basic books of subject, right? Don't undermine IGNOU. Very frequently questions are lifted from IGNOU, both particularly MPA and BPA. Many people felt it difficult in answering the questions, particularly in from 2011 to 2017, because the nature of questions that were asked, they are, all right, you can find them in IGNOU books. The way of wording, the terminology used, right, the way of thinking that is used, they are mostly in IGNOU books. So I would advise even to go through the IGNOU books, a synopsis of IGNOU books at least, right? So this is what you should take care. So read textbook, and institute material should be your what you call last resort, and they should be used only for revisions, right? This is one thing. And the other question, art of answer writing. Another part of the difficulty in public administration is how to get scores. The very first question was whether it is scoring or not. I said that it is a scoring subject. Now, how to score this? How it is an, so it is both art as well as science. So we call it as science because there are certain principles of answer writing. There are some principles which everyone should follow in writing the answers. So it is these principles which makes us familiar, which makes us to have a regularity in the pattern of answers. This is one thing. So we all talk about introduction, core part of the answer, conclusion, pros and cons. Right? It is a common thing which everyone knows. But how to give an introduction? What is an effective introduction? What to write in the introductory para? That is what the art again. We know that there is a structure, but writing the points, highlighting the points, making our answer more attractive, it is an art. So you can have many ways of introducing the answers, but there will be only one right way of introducing the answer. Identifying that right way of introducing the answer is more important. So there lies the art. It is an intuition. It comes through intuition. When you see the question, then something sparks in your mind. So from it is that starts your answer. So always try to find at least frame 2 to 3 different ways of starting the answer. That is what Simon's theory of decision making. Designing different choices. What are different choices? What are different ways of introducing the answer? Then identifying the right way. Then identifying the right choice. That should be the point. Alright? So in paper 1, you require, particularly if we want to, the scoring in paper 1 purely depends upon our subject knowledge. Purely depends upon our subject knowledge. The in-depth knowledge of the discipline. Unless you are not good in a dictionary knowledge, definitely it is not possible to get good marks. Now don't become a researcher again. So without becoming a researcher, identifying the topics, understanding them in depth, having a pros and cons views. So all this should be done while preparing for exam. So before going for UPSC mains exam, it should be a part of your practice. Everything should be in a different kinds of what you call using. When you read something, read it, understand it, write the synopsis, and then start applying, then start thinking in different ways. Now questions are asked on scope of public administration. Whether scope of public administration can be limited or not. How the scope of public administration is changing. So how the scope is in Western countries, how it is in developing countries, how it is in underdeveloped countries like African nations. What are different factors that keeps the scope of public administration changing. So not only focusing on the traditional factors, but even the contemporary factors, use of different scholars. So here we need to use all these points. We need to use all these points while writing the answer. So answer requires these elements. Definitely, it is this subject knowledge using interrelating the chapters, interrelation of the points. This is what required. So how to use theories in personal administration, how to use theories in public policy. Right? So there are different ways where you can play with the subject. When you are good in this, you will get good marks in paper 1. Coming to paper 2 always requires application of both paper 1 as well as current affairs. Just now, right, in the previous point, I was mentioning about the importance of current affairs. So along with current affairs, we need to apply the knowledge of paper 1. So using paper 1 in paper 2 always makes you to get good marks. It is mandatory. So right from day 1 of your practice, try to focus on this element. It should be a blend of both using of paper 1 as well as current affairs. How to use NPA in personal administration, how to use NPA in civil services, how to use theories of organization in charter of public undertakings. Right? So you have a different ways. How to use Weber, how to use Taylor in administrative reforms. So we should be in this point. We should always think about how to apply. So make sure that when you start preparing from in paper 1 itself, right from paper 1, right, you try to focus on this element. Try to focus on this element of applying your paper 1 in paper 2. So when you read something in paper 1, mark there itself. Mark there of where to apply this point. How to apply that point. So this is what art of writing an answer. So we should focus on this while writing the answers. So these are the things that one should take care, right? For writing, these are the things that one should take care in public administration. So I hope you have understood this video. Thank you. All the best.